Here we're going to tie the jumbo Juju Chironomid. First thing we went ahead and did was added a white bead to the front of the hook, then also tied in some thin either 015 or 020 lead wire. Next thing you're going to do is just wrap through the lead wire a couple of times to secure it. You can see I only added enough wire here to build up a bit of a thorax and keep that bead from getting sloppy. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to tie in a couple of strands of black Superhair. Then you're going to tie in 3 strands of red Superhair. You're going to tie these in and wrap them down the shank of the hook, nice and smooth and even. I like to wrap mine down the bend just a little ways. And once you do that, you can take your thread forward. Nice, even, smooth wraps. And I'm just going to keep my thread here at the thorax area. All I'm going to do now is just take that thread or that Superhair, and first thing I kind of want to do is split it up and split the black away from the red. I want those 2 black fibers to lay right next to each other as much as I can. If they don't want to cooperate on it with you, it's not a huge deal. We'll see if we can get it to work here. There we go. I'll kind of twist them around each other a couple times. Once I get them separated, that should help. Now those first couple of wraps I make fairly loose, and then I can scoot them back with my fingernail if I need to, if I have a little space showing. And then all I'm going to do is just take that Superhair, hold it nice and taut, and wrap forward. You can see I'm getting that good segmentation. That's what I was hoping to get. Splitting up the Superhair and giving it a twist usually can help you get it sorted. And I'm going to try to wrap up onto my thorax region here just a little bit. And I can capture the Superhair with my thread. Secure it down. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to tie in our flashback, which is just some wide pearlescent tinsel. Tie that in right on top of the shank of the hook. At this point, if you like, you can change to your black thread. I just basically wrap back up over the white thread, and then you can trim out the excess. Now we're going to tie in the gills. For that you can use egg yarn, McFlylon. There's a few different kinds of material you can use. I'm just going to X-wrap a few light gills here near the front of the fly. And if you want to make them a little thicker, you can tie in a little bit more. Gotta be careful how much you add. You don't want to get too crazy. Then you can kind of pull those forward and out of the way for now. Now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to dub the thorax. For that we're going to use some Peacock Ice Dubbing. And we're going to dub a nice tight thorax with this ice dubbing. It's kind of difficult to deal with, especially this Peacock. It's very coarse, but just dub it as tightly as you can with your hands. I usually use a little bit of saliva to kind of help. Then we're going to dub that thorax here. Take it forward. Add a little bit more to polish it off. Now once we get to the front, we can split our gills again and kind of lay them into place. I'm going to pull that piece of pearlescent tinsel right over the top, secure it, trim out the excess. You can trim your gills. You usually trim them fairly short. I just want a hint of white tufts hanging off to each side there. I don't want it to be too busy. And you can whip finish. And you're essentially almost done. Last step here is to add a little bit of UV fly finish or knot sense, either one. We're just going to add it to the top of the fly. There we go. If we need to take some off, I'll get my little needle out. Further work it in here and draw a little bit of it off. If you put a little too much on, work it to each side of the tinsel. There we go. Then the last thing to do is cure it with your UV light or your laser. I'm using the new laser here. Cures it very, very quickly. There we go. That's all there is to the Jumbo Juju. Pretty simple little chironomid to tie, very lifelike. Catches a lot of still water fish for me. And you can buy all the materials for this fly at intheriffle.com.